US President Joseph Biden appeared alongside Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the Group of Seven summit. The important occasion for the new exchange of views between the two leaders was the significant signing of an agreement on US support for Ukraine. However, it is important to note that, equally significant than the content of this document is the context in which it was signed. This could involve a number of significant and potentially important events that are capable of changing the course of the Russian-Ukrainian war. It seems that the United States and other Western countries are tired of waiting for Russian President Vladimir Putin to realize that the West is ready to continue opposing his revanchist ambitions. That Putin's plans to annex territories of Ukraine and other former Soviet republics and build a new empire are indeed not destined to be realized. In fact, they are not destined to be realized at all. The first important decision worth mentioning is the permission that the United States granted to Ukraine. Permission that allows the use of strikes with American weapons on the territory of the Russian Federation. Granted. This specific authorization allows the Ukrainian army to destroy Russian military targets within Russia itself. It may potentially hinder the Russian military from significantly implementing Vladimir Putin's new plans to occupy new regions of Ukraine and further destabilize the region of Ukraine. And, of course, this decision can indeed undoubtedly significantly reduce the military potential of the Russian Federation. Another important decision concerns economic potential. It was made by the leaders of the Group of Seven countries after a prolonged period of intense negotiations. This decision involves the significant payment of profits from frozen Russian assets to Ukraine. Yes, for now, the Russian assets themselves remain untouched, but this could be the first step towards their confiscation. However, the amount of profit is quite substantial. It is $50 billion. And this payment means that the West wants to finance the reconstruction of Ukraine and provide aid and support to this country using the resources of the country that started the aggressive war against Ukraine. Using Russia's resources, which were accumulated over many years in various ways. The next equally important and very significant determination made by the United States during the days of international forums was the determination on new sanctions against the Russian Federation. This decision will be a new, significant blow to Russia's financial system and, hopefully, not the last such blow. Any significant reduction in Russia's economic potential could potentially force President Vladimir Putin and his close allies to abandon the idea of a prolonged war of attrition against Ukraine. The only chance to end the ongoing and devastating war of attrition in Ukraine is to initiate and start a real and effective war of attrition against the aggressive forces of Russia. First and foremost, of course, the economic war. However, as long as Russia has reliable allies in China, President Vladimir Putin may ignore these Western intentions. However, the new United States sanctions are aimed not only at Russian, but also at Chinese companies, and they appear to have been an unpleasant surprise for the leadership of the PRC. When U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was recently, around the month of September, in Beijing, he explicitly warned Chinese President Xi Jinping about the serious consequences of continued economic support from China to the Russian Federation and the potential implications. He warned that if Beijing does not take measures to indeed limit the support provided to the Russian military-industrial complex by Chinese firms, the United States will be able to do so on its own. It seems that Beijing indeed decided to ignore this American warning and miscalculated. Official comments from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China leave no doubt. The decision of the United States was received emotionally. Secondary sanctions are starting to be implemented against those countries whose economic cooperation significantly helps Russia mitigate the effect of Western sanctions. And this could be a truly serious and, in the long run, a devastating blow to the Russian economy. In reality, there was no economic miracle in Russia after Western sanctions were imposed. Indeed, Russia's economic miracle is actually, in fact, China's miracle. Without Chinese support, the economy of the Russian Federation would have long been in ruins. If the countries of the so-called Global South did not buy Russian oil, Moscow would have undoubtedly long since ended the war against Ukraine and would not be dreaming of war against other countries. Thus, we can clearly observe the preparedness of Western countries to significantly respond to Vladimir Putin's heightened tensions with their own escalation, notably increasing pressure with their own pressure. And this could be a truly effective tool for indeed ending the Russian-Ukrainian war. It is precisely the support agreement for Ukraine that Kiev so very desperately needs. Thank you. Stay on this channel, subscribe, follow my social media, and support the growth of this channel.